WOCA. Ocala.
Okay, 24 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. I am not ashamed to tell you that I like chick flicks. I like chick. I like love stories. I do. I really do like love stories. I do like love stories.
Glad you do.
I don't know why. I just do. And I guess everybody doesn't, but I do. And I think something comes from a love story. And I guess you ladies know this, and of course. But there's the contagious magic or something when you see people falling in love. It's like, even though that's not going to happen for me again in this lifetime, it's
You never know.
no, well, I pretty much do. But I mean, not that I don't love people. I'm just, but that initial thing, that amazing, like,
knock your socks off electricity.
Yeah, a rocket just went off in the backyard or something. That kind of moment, and that can be healing in a way. Boy, I'm all over the map. Dr. David Feinstein is on the phone with Donna Eden, and they are going to talk to us about this book that made me think of these things. The book is called Energies of Love, Invisible Keys to a Fulfilling Partnership. Donna Eden is a healer, a sought-after speaker, a teacher for energy medicine. Gosh, her name sounds familiar. I wonder if we've had her on before.
I think we have.
And Dr. Feinstein also, he's a clinical psychologist. He served on the faculty of the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine. He's an award-winning best-selling author. Donna and Dr. Feinstein, good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And you're husband and wife, right?
Yes, husband and wife. Husband and wife who were not like that early on. We were not that, the sparks flying and falling in love. We were really incompatible and dreadful with one another. But
that's the makings of a chick flick, right there.
Well, now, here we are almost 39 years later. We are really in love, and the sparks do fly. And it's very nice to be able to, heat things up, as you go on in life later on.
Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, I'm glad to hear about that. So tell me about healing, first of all, and the relationship between healing and love. Not just love as in I love my father, I love my son, but I mean romantic love.
Well, first of all, it's all energy. I always like to remember that Feinstein said that over 100 years ago, that energy is all there is. Well, that kind of love and and even healing. Healing is when all the energies are aligned and it makes it expand bigger and bigger, and healing can happen as well as falling in love can happen.
So how do you use that knowledge to heal people or yourself?
Well, I use 9 different energy systems, and I teach people how to tap into their own inner healer. But, we have meridians in our body that are like pathways that stream and have all the acupuncture points on them. And because our energies are electromagnetic, you can touch anywhere along those pathways and affect healing and help somebody feel better or take away their pain. There's also, there's chakras, there are auras, there's lots of different energy systems.
But when it comes to relationships and to romance and to love, the idea of energy is a little strange for some people. But you know it when you are in that romantic place. You know that there's an energy that's between the two of them. And scientists have measured this now in a number of ways. One of them is familiar to everyone, which is that an EKG measures the electromagnetic field of the heart.
Right.
And EKG measures the electromagnetic field of the brain. What many people don't know is that the electromagnetic field of the heart is 50 times stronger than the field of the brain. And what that means for you is that when you're with your partner, and if your partner's in a bad mood or feeling angry or feeling resentful or feeling depressed, your brain is tuning into that much larger energy field. It's attuning itself, it's entraining itself to it, and it's invisible to you. It's outside of your consciousness, yet you just feel less interested in reaching out or less interested in being vulnerable or more defended. And on the other side of it, if your partner is feeling really loving and open to you, you're going to resonate with that and be invited energetically to be more open, more vulnerable. So these interchanges in energy are happening all the time between people, couples and anyone else that's intimate with one another. And what the book, The Energies of Love, does is it teaches people how to focus in on this dimension. People are familiar with the biochemical interchanges that happen. They're familiar with the psychological part of love. They're familiar with how early childhood experiences shape the way that we choose partners and relate to partners. They're familiar with the communication and other interpersonal aspects of love. What we bring to it, we don't belittle any of that because we really integrate our model into all of that. But what we focus on is the invisible energy dimension of love and how powerful that is, and how our culture doesn't teach people how to work with that, but it's really much easier than you might imagine.
Yeah. So it sounds like we radiate beyond our bodies. It's what sounds like you're saying, like a radio wave.
Yeah, absolutely. And your aura goes out at least to your arm's length, and many people go out much further than that. And you're literally sitting in each other's auras, and those energies affect you. And we are all affected all the time by energy.
So have you experimented with this? Like, have you like you sit in the room with you're blindfolded and you got headsets on so you can't hear each other, and you say, "Okay, I'm going to tell you when you're in my field."
That's a good idea.
A very good idea. So what?
There have been studies that people who are not able to see who's behind them know when they're being stared at or when they're not being stared at. That's a very simple experiment along the lines that you're talking about that Rupert Sheldrake did, so that people sometimes 90% accuracy. When they felt they were being stared at, they just pressed down a little button. When they felt they weren't, they didn't press it, and there was and most people are far more than random chance. So,
right. Okay. Can we use this for healing beyond, like physical healing?
Absolutely. I've been teaching how to physically heal people since 1977. So that goes back a long ways.
Wow.
And I also healed myself. And that's how I got into this and stayed in it longer and longer and longer. But it's also really valuable to get that, that just because you're not feeling compatible or you're not feeling like you've got that spark anymore with your partner, there are energetic things you can do. It's just like healing a body. You can heal a relationship by shifting energy.
We need to take a little break, and we will be right back to continue talking about this. The book is called Energies of Love. It's a huge book, by the way. Invisible keys to fulfilling partnership. Donna Eden is on the phone with Dr. David Feinstein. Where are you guys? Where are you calling from?
Well, we are from. We're based in Ashland, Oregon, but we are on the road all the time. So right now we're just a few miles from you. We're in Stewart, Florida at the moment.
Oh, you're in Stewart. Okay, all right.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we'll take a little break, and we will be right back with Dr. Feinstein and Donna Eden.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. There's a high risk of rip currents at the beaches for the rest of the week. Sunshine mixing with clouds Thursday, breezy and warm, high 80 at the coast, 86 inland. Partly cloudy Thursday night, low 59 inland, 65 along the coast. For Friday, a mix of clouds and sun, high 79 at the coast, 85 inland. Saturday, partly sunny, maybe a shower, high 78 to 82. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Whether you're building it up or knocking it down, get it done, rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals is here to make your job a little easier. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the right equipment for any job, big or small. Did you know that Sunbelt Rentals carries heaters, air conditioners, generators, lighting, traffic control, and so much more? So whether you're building it up or knocking it down, we've got the equipment you need. Get it done, rent it now. And right now, for a limited time, you can have it for less. Just by mentioning this ad, if you rent it Friday afternoon, you can keep it the whole weekend and only pay for one day. But this is a limited time offer, so stop into Sunbelt Rentals today, Northwest 27th, just a quarter mile east of I-75. For more information, just give us a call, 352-369-9101. 352-369-9101. Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done, rent it now. 352-369-9101.
There's a storm coming. We may not know its path, but your independent auto owner's insurance agent knows no matter what happens, we'll be there when you need us most. Strong through every storm. That's how it's been for our first 100 years. And how it will be for generations to come.
Call George Mankin Insurance in Ocala today, 352-732-3191.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs. And all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
All right, 12 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. You know what I was thinking about during the break? Let's return to Dr. David Feinstein and Donna Eden. Doctor and Donna, I was thinking during the break about something, and I just want your thoughts on this. If you remember, like when your cat had baby kittens, they're all together. They're all on top of each other. If you go to the zoo and you look at the monkeys, they're all picking at each other. They're touching each other, and everybody, all of God's creation is of the animals anyway. They're always hanging out together. You know, us as humans, we don't do a whole lot of this. I don't think turtles do a whole lot of this either.
No.
But I'm wondering if maybe we lost something in society by being so independent. We used to be more touchy-feely, didn't we?
Well, I think we're coming back to touchy-feely. But you're right. I mean, the more technological we've become, I mean, people are on their cell phones and computers all the time, and they're not with each other. And also we have sort of protocols, unspoken protocols about what is acceptable and what isn't. But I do know in our classes, I mean, one of the things we can show couples, like if a couple, we do a lot of demonstration work in our classes, so we show everybody what happens so that you don't have to wonder if it's going to work or not. But say you bring a couple up on the stage and you energy test them to see where their energy is, and then have them hold hands. And the one that didn't have as much energy now has energy, and the one that had a lot of energy now doesn't have as much. It's like their energies transfer back and forth.
Wow.
But one of the things that we know also is that if you just hug for 7 seconds, oxytocin starts building in your body. So that bonding thing that animals have begins to grow, and you want to hug more.
And over time, couples tend to not hug as much. They tend to not take those romantic little moments, and simply doing that by building the oxytocin response to one another increases the feeling of the intimacy. So you're doing it at an energetic level, a physical level, and a psychological level. But what in that demonstration on the stage, what we teach people is that even though the energy tends to equalize by it, the one partner taking it from the other, there are ways that couples can begin to get their own energies moving so that rather than drawing from one another, when they come together, their energies are building on one another's. They're increasing one another's good energies. So being aware of this energy dimension and how to maneuver with it, how to really negotiate that reality of your body, that what you call that energy field that extends beyond your body is just golden information for people to have.
Are we dependent on the energy of another person for our happiness and maybe our emotional or relationship healing?
Well, what part of what we're really saying is yes and no. That we are made to bond, and we need intimacy. That's a very basic human need. It doesn't necessarily have to be with a romantic partner, but that is the way that most people are drawn towards.
Right.
And so.
But if you're hanging out, okay, you're hanging out with the guys, and that's where you're getting that energy from. It's a group of guys, and you go out every night. You know, if a woman walks into the bar, you're going to say, "Oh, you know what? I'm heading over there." All of a sudden, the energy you're getting from these guys isn't as important as the energy you can get from her.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it is that men are from Mars, women are from Venus, the thing.
But you also stress family in your book. I noticed that your book is dedicated to your grandson, so you have to have a special bond with him.
Oh, absolutely. We have a bond with him. That's one of the most thrilling things that has ever happened to us. And I think, if anything, that has expanded our relationship, because I feel, I fall in love with David when I watch him be so wonderful with our grandson.
Oh, and that
is sweet. That's a sweet thing to say.
It's true. It's so true.
But in our 38 years together, as Donna was saying before, it really was very difficult at first, and I'm a clinical psychologist, so I was trying to fix her, and it doesn't work well for psychologists to make their wife their identified patient, and it didn't work well for us. And Donna, though, with her, really world-class expertise in energy healing, began to figure out ways to use some of the methods that she uses on a person's body to help us get our own bodies into alignment energetically, so that we were meeting at that level, and that then took care of some of the psychological tension. It reduced some of the psychological tension and built bridges so that we were really in a flow with one another. And one of the really interesting things that we discovered is that there are different energetic styles that people have, and we have very different styles, and most people are drawn to a partner that is energetically very different from them. Things like common interests and common values, they give you a basis for building bridges with one another, but we are attracted to someone that is energetically different from us, just like two same poles of a magnet repel one another, and opposite poles attract, and so you're attracted to someone who thinks differently than you. At that basic energetic level is reflected in how you think, how you process information, and how
you feel, and how you love, and how you argue and fight, all of it.
Yeah. One of the things you talk about in the book, and I want to make sure the listeners know who this book is for, so if you could squeeze that in there somewhere too. But one of the chapters is a chapter I could relate to, because when I was younger, I married my wife, and she already had a daughter. And so there was a relationship that was inevitable, not just between me and now a stepdaughter, but also a biological father. And you talk about this, and it was awkward, I guess, is the best way to describe it. It was awkward. So the book could have helped me in that, right?
Yes, absolutely. When we figured out the different energy stress styles, it changed the way we related to our daughters.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I turned on a dime in how I was raising my kids, because David came into my life later on, and so they were 8 and 11. So
you're a stepdad, David, right?
Stepdad.
Okay.
But my kids, when I realized that one of them was what I would call a tonal kinesthetic, and the other one was a visual, I mean, you couldn't raise them even the same. It helps you relate to your kids completely different than you would have otherwise, and you raise them different, because you understand how they're taking in information. And it's been so helpful. It changed everything for us.
So who would you say the book is for?
Well, the book, when Donna's first book is Energy Medicine, and when we answer that question...
Just talk a little bit louder, David, if you don't mind.
Our first book is called Energy Medicine, and when people ask us who that's for, we say, well, anyone who has a body. And for this book, it's for anyone that's in a relationship or wants to be in one, and it's both for people that are in troubled relationships and for people that are in happy relationships that want to take it further, that want to go into a deeper spiritual dimension, that want to go into a better flow. So it's really written for the whole range. In our first years, as we've mentioned a couple of times, were very tense for us. But as we figured it out, we really knew we had something important that we wanted to teach to others. So we've been teaching Energies of Love workshops for 30 years, and all realms of couples and individuals come to the workshop. It's great for a couple to read the book independently and then discuss it, but also even for people that are not in a relationship or whose partner isn't interested in learning more about the relationship. We have that whole range come to our workshops, and only in the book just came out in paperback, and we're real happy about it. It was New York Times bestseller relationship list, and News just named it the Relationship Book of the Year. So
congratulations!
We really have an audience for it.
May I say one more thing? While it's really primarily for relationships, think any relationship you have, this is going to help, because once you understand the energy dynamic, we also give you the tools to shift the energy so that suddenly you can be on the same wavelength with somebody again.
Those energy dynamics that we've been talking about as four distinct types they're not psychological, they're built in. You're born with them, but they reflect how you process information, are called digital, visual, kinesthetic, and tonal, and your listeners can take a free quiz to find out what type they are by going to energiesoflove.com.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah,
you're one step ahead of me. I was going to ask you for a website. Can we get the book? Can we get the book on that website?
Yes, you can get the book there, and you can get more information. But people can take the quiz, and then they'll be sent what type they are and also information about it, and then they can have their partner take it, and that gives them a lot to talk about even before they get the book.
All right, tell me the website again.
Energiesoflove.com.
Okay, energiesoflove.com. I'm going there right now. Okay. Thank you both for being on. I have a copy of the book. If you would like the copy that was sent to us, it's called Energies of Love, Invisible Keys to a Fulfilling Partnership. Call me right now. You can have the copy that was sent to us. The rest of us have to buy it. And I just went to the site. That's not you two, is it? On the cover? On the front page of the website?
Yes, that's us.
That's you? You're back to back? Wow, look at you. You look like you're not in love. You look like you're having a hard time.
We don't look like we're in love there? I gotta see what picture it is. Oh no!
It looks like you're wearing blue shirts and you got your backs to each other, like you're like mad at each other. I just went to the website. Donna Eden and Dr. David Feinstein, thank you both so much for what you're doing and for being on this show.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Definitely come back. We will take a break. We'll be right back.
From the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. GOP presidential hopefuls are getting ready for another debate tonight.
In a town hall last night, Donald Trump told Fox News he's ready for any attacks.
Some people say, just stand up and let them say whatever they want. You're presidential. It doesn't work that way. I would be run out of town if I did that.
Polls show Marco Rubio far behind in his home state, but he insists he's not going anywhere.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland. The president and his Canadian counterpart holding their first Oval Office meeting, and some valuable information out on ISIS could now be in Western hands.
Intelligence agencies getting a boost after a defector gave Fox sister network Sky News a thumb drive that appears to contain ISIS enrollment